Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. All right, I'll let the Discord know I'm live. 1 second. All right, so we just had a push above all of this LRLR here. We do have another internal high right above us. We have equal highs on the daily. So I think that's going to be an obvious spot. But let's just quickly look from a top down. We do have this kind of consolidation here and a lot of low resistance liquidity forming on the NASDAQ. It is possible today that we sweep these equal highs, but I have a feeling that they're going to make this pretty difficult to do. I'm going to pay attention to how this plays out, but I think that we do have potential of sweeping a lot of these lows over the next few weeks. Maybe not, maybe they miss it, I'm not sure, but you can see we're having a pretty big push after the gap down yesterday. We had a gap down. We have perfect equal lows right below us that we actually missed, interestingly enough. And then we have equal highs right above us. So I think both of those are potential candidates for today, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, we did sweep some major liquidity to the downside. We have a BPR now, and I think we have definitely potential to go higher here. If we go back in time, we have this obvious high here that I think is going to hit, and then we'll probably go slightly higher than it and towards this consolidation leg, if I had to guess. So I'm looking for this high to get swept now on the 1 minute chart, and then from there we can probably push much higher, so we'll see if we do. I think this market definitely has legs up to this high, if I had to guess. So pay attention to that high, and then we'll see what happens after that reaction. I don't really see any A plus inversions to the downside, but this is obviously a pretty major BPR. I doubt we're going to come back and retest it. I think this is just going to push quite a bit higher from here, and then who knows what happens from there. Okay, nice push there. Let's see it continue. Okay, beautiful. And then from here, I could see this being a potential spot for reversal. If we do get some kind of an inversion here, I'll try it for a scalp. Maybe we can go back and retest some of the levels below us here. So the 50% is here, but maybe somewhere in this general range, there could be an inversion that we could take to down into this leg of price, which I do like actually. So let's see if we get that here. Wow, guys, did you see what Tesla's doing today? Who's watching Tesla? Tesla's up 7%. So if you guys watched my video from last week on Sunday, which was yesterday, I talked about how I think that this internal high, once we swept it, that we were going to get a reversal, and then I was looking for the rest of this monthly fair value gap to get filled. So Tesla should have a nice pump here. Check out the video too if you want, but there's a few other stocks that I'm looking at here for a potential play. I don't know if I got filled on any of them. Just Amazon is the one that I got filled on. So I sold some puts on it, and I'm gonna alert the Discord onto what else I'm gonna do here. Okay, so we're potentially filling this hourly gap here. I think that this probably will come back, consolidate, retrace in this fair value gap. If you guys want to try a short scalp here, you can, but I am not going to personally. If we do get this inversion here, then I think that's going to be a really nice play to target some downside here. For a scalp, nothing crazy. Excuse me. Yeah, pretty amazing how we never came back down to sweep these lows. Could we sweep these equal highs today? Sure. I don't think we will, but it's possible. We also have a pretty obvious internal high up here that we can label. Oh, your Tom Hayu's journey. OMG, Elon Musk. Yeah. Crazy, huh? Portfolio pamping goat. That's what happens when. Okay, here's the inversion, guys, that we could potentially get here. Just for a short scalp, nothing crazy. If we get the 1 minute close, I'm going to probably target this little volume imbalance here. That's what I'm thinking. For the 6 of you who are watching on whatever platforms. A little bit higher risk because we're super bullish here, but ideally, if this closes below, then we'll look for some kind of a rebalance of this right here. We also have a little 5 minute fair value gap that needs to be rebalanced down here. Yeah, so for those of you guys who are new to the channel, you know that our biggest investment is Tesla, and me and this the other guy that's in here, Yotam Hayesh, one of my great friends. He is also a big Tesla investor, and so we're all happy with the move after Robotaxi was successful yesterday. Guys, make sure you like the stream if you're in here. It really helps the algos. I know the people that are watching on X here, and there's 8 or 10 people now. I know you can't like on YouTube, but if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and like. It helps a lot. Okay, so here's where the retracement's happening. I'd expect this to potentially drop us into the volume imbalance. Maybe we could take our partial scalp profits here at this 2 minute gap, but we need to even obviously see the inverse close. Not ideal too, guys, because we do have a 2 minute and a 3 minute. So yeah, I'm even more hesitant to take this now, honestly. See a beautiful 3 minute formed here. The 2 minute as well and the 1 minute, they all created a really nice BPR. So my guess is they just use this to go higher, to be honest, but we'll see. Yeah, AMD is up nicely too. Let's take a look at both real quick, see how we're performing. Yep, our AMD position's up to 132, SOXL up 3%. The only thing I noticed today that was dropping massively is HIMS. I'm not in this personally, but there was a big potential lawsuit forming on them, so you can see we're down almost 30% on the day, which is wild. All right, let's continue watching this here to see what happens. Again, unfortunately, guys, and I'm not saying that I'm a proponent of war. I'm not at all, but unfortunately, it does end up with bullish reactions for the market pretty much every single time, unless we are already heading towards some kind of a economic downturn. Then we do typically see pullbacks in the stock market. So that 1 minute bullish for value gap is reacting nicely here to the upside. I think we could potentially continue to see downside here just to target some imbalances below us, like this 3 minute fair value gap and the 2 minute, but you don't really want to move in front. You don't want to jump in front of a moving train. Okay, so this could be where the inversion happens, possibly. And again, your target would really, you'd want to be like the first, you want to do the first fair value gap, which is really this low. If we get the 1 minute closure, the 2 minute never close below, the 3 minute never close below. If we get the 1 minute closure, you can scalp this down here. That's the only thing I would suggest doing. Okay, so a little 1 minute closure above here. It's probably going to take us back to new highs, and we're probably going to go up and fill the hourly gap if I had to guess, but nothing here A plus. This is a consolidation leg before a potential move higher, and then again, we have an hourly buy side here. I think a 4-hour buy side as well. See if we can get a push higher here. And now that if this 1 minute inverse is great, that's fine. But the issue with it is that we already closed above the internal high, so you can't take this anymore. At least I wouldn't. Dude, Tesla's at 350. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, and there's the hourly buy side, or not hourly buy side, hourly fair value gap filled pretty much. Just missed the high by a tick. Okay, there's the hourly filled now. Again, you couldn't really take this because we swept this internal high, but nonetheless, it's still working to the upside. Very strong push on the daily. It's actually amazing what war does. It's crazy. So target could easily be equal highs today. It's definitely possible, but we'll see what happens. Okay, push up to this hourly buy side seems pretty likely here. We have another 15-minute fair value gap right there as well. I think it's a 5-minute as well. It's a protected high on the 5. It's a fair value gap on the 15. Okay, pretty nice looking 1-minute inversion to the downside. We do have another 1-minute fair value gap below it. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this PA right now. If both of these close below, then I think this could be a drop down lower. But we'll see. I think we could easily end up touching into this 1-minute gap here. You know, I'm going to try a 1-for-1 scalp here real quick. My TP is going to be right here at this 1-minute fair value gap, and then my stop loss is going to be up at high. So it's a negative RR, unfortunately, but I think it's going to be a good scalp. I'd love to see the market come down and touch into this before going higher, if it's going to. Okay, so and as soon as this 1-minute gap fills, I am going to move my stop to break even. So I'm going to get ready for that if it does. I want to see a filling of this and then a move lower. I mean, then a potential move higher, so. And the thesis behind this is that the hourly has already filled and that we could potentially draw down further. So we have unbalanced fair value gaps here. I want to see it this at minimum this low get swept. That's what my thesis is here, and that I could move my stop to break even when it does. Wow, Tesla's at 350. Tesla's up 10, almost 10% on the day, guys. That's crazy. It's definitely strong, and it's helping the market push up for sure. This is also a potential BPR here, but at minimum, I'd like to see that low get swept, and that's where my stop to break even comes. Let's see if we get it. Again, I'll be very quick with it. And if I get my 180, sure, awesome. If not, it's a free trade. Again, this is a scalping model. It's not. Okay, there it is. So it's now officially a free trade. If we get the 1 minute rebalance here, awesome. If not, it's a free trade. Okay, beautiful. Let's lock in 65. And all right, perfect. All right, so there's the rebalance. That's my first trade of the day. I don't know if I'll take more trades than that, but that was good enough for me. This is now a 1 minute inversion. I don't know if we have a 2 minute, and it's a 2 minute inversion, and it's a, ooh, yeah, this could potentially drop quite a bit here, guys. Really nice looking inversion to the downside after filling the hourly. Damn. Did anybody take that trade? So the 1 minute close below, I don't know if this is going to be a fake inversion because we do have buy side above us, but at least we got that nice winning trade. So congrats to those who took it. There is now a 1 minute inverse to the upside, but I don't know. This is now a consolidation after a distribution higher. I think they'll maybe use this to end up driving the market higher here, but again, we have our trade, so we're good. 352 on Tesla. I'm telling you guys, Tesla's going to go up to 373. If you guys are looking for potential calls here, this is going all the way up here. So from here, you're looking at a almost a continuation of 6%. But I don't know if it's going to happen today. Probably will happen tomorrow. Okay, I have to alert the Discord on on a few things here. Sorry for that. Okay, if this woman inverses, this could easily be what drives us back up to highs and up to this internal buy side. So we'll see if it does. And we just formed, they're not perfectly equal lows, but they're relative equal lows here. You look fast on that hat. Thanks, bro. What color is your Ferrari hat? I think this is building some low resistance liquidity here to then drive it up later. But you can see this woman inversion is holding, and we're trying to retest it. I don't know if this is to stop out traders before delivering it a little bit lower, but still working on getting the Ferrari hat. You'll get it one day, bro. Don't worry. Just take a few more trades. So 1 for 1 on the day today. We do have, no, actually we do have a set of perfect equal highs that formed here, but these are right next to each other, so I wouldn't really take these into account. They're equal, but they're right next to each other, so this is not really a magnet for price. I think this is where we generate some low resistance liquidity. Maybe this ends up driving us down lower, and then we take it out later today or even tomorrow. But we took one scalp today to fill this little 1 minute volume imbalance and 1 minute for value gap. So if you are in this 1 minute short, which I personally am not, but if you are, you do not want to see the market get a 1 minute closure back above this inversion. If we do, then you're probably cooked and we're going to go higher. But for now, this is still playing out. Your stop should move to break even if these lows get swept. But until then, yeah, I would not be out of this trade until one of two things: a 1 minute closure above this short, above this inversion, or move your stop to break even when this low gets swept. But if you look at the structure of the market today, we have a massive BPR after sweeping liquidity. Hold on, let me take some of these on, put some of these on my chart quick. So we went past, not quite, actually we did, whoa, did we create perfect equal lows at London today? So we didn't quite go towards London lows. We came close, swept liquidity, and we had a massive reaction. So yeah, I'm under the personally, I think this is just a move to drive us higher. I don't know if this is gonna work to the downside. Not A plus in my opinion, but you guys can obviously do what you want. So now we did create a set of perfect equal highs here. And now they are not equal highs. We swept them. So you really, really need to hope and pray, guys, that this 1 minute inversion holds. As long as this 1 minute inversion holds, this short play is still working. And then your stop to break even would be at this internal low right here. But again, I am not in this. This is very bullish. A bullish reaction from the lows today. A BPR. No real reason to be in this trade, in my opinion. Again, we took one trade today. It was a 1-for-1. We were 1-for-1 on the day with a scalp to trade into this 1 minute fair value gap, and that's it. That was the only trade that I took. From here, I don't know what's going to happen. We can easily come up and sweep this high. If this 1 minute fails, that's actually a decent trade you can try. But we'll see what happens here. So right now, okay, so there's a 1 minute close back above here. I would be out of your shorts because that failed, we're likely to come back and sweep this high. Gold and NQ running together. Yeah. So I don't know how to explain this, guys. I don't know what I could say, but it's just screen time and experience, and I knew that this was probably going to fail. This 1 minute short. We never even came back and swept the internal low, so you never got your stop to break even on the trade. And now I think the highs are probably coming back. Tristan, did you take any trades today at all? Or Mr. Ferrari, did you guys take any trades? We're 1 for 1 on the day with a scalp, and that's it. We're about to enter a macro time too, but this is just not a great spot to be in a trade unless you're scalping, because we already had our distribution leg. This is the consolidation before either driving us higher or going lower. I mean, one of the two is obviously going to happen, but I took my one scalp. Also, guys, make sure you like the stream if you're here. It really helps the algos. If you want more people to see this, dude. And again, for those of you who are just tuning in, if you're looking for a pretty, I would say low risk personally play that's going to play out over the next couple days, it's a move on Tesla up to 373. We did have a 10% day today, so obviously our risk is a lot higher. But if we do get any retracements here, you can buy shares, sell puts, buy calls, whatever you want. Any bullish options play or shares play to target this 373 level. And what is the 373 level? It is simply the high of the monthly fair value gap. I think that this was a fake move down, a manipulation, and that we are driving up to close above this. And ultimately, if we do close above this on the monthly, let's say we close above this in June, then I think that's going to be the move that we need to drive us back up to 440, back up to 488, and then potentially higher. Okay, so there's the high of day. We got swept again. I think this does have legs to go up to here now, but I would be cautious. Whoops, sorry guys. Okay, so pretty big rejection after sweeping that high at the hourly. I still think that this buy side is going to come probably today, but you'll have to see if we get another inversion play. So a pretty nice 1 minute fair value gap forming here. Let's see if it holds. And then if we close above it, then that would be what drives us higher here. David, I took a trade today. I'm up. I'm just waiting for a drop at one of my levels to get back in. If it keeps running, I'll just watch. Smart, David. Good to see that you guys are actually being disciplined with price. Again, we're in an hourly fair value gap here. Do not be surprised if we reject. Like, this is not a spot for continuation until we get something that really shows us that. An inversion in the macro time that sweep back above this high, that'll be potentially the target that drives us up here. SMT might be forming. Let's check ES quick and see if there is an SMT. 1020 and 1045. Yeah, there is an SMT with ES, but I don't know. This is just not a high probability spot. This is a consolidation leg now. Tesla's at 355.55. That is crazy. Telling you guys, I'm actually going to alert the Discord right now. If they want to sell puts on Tesla, that 370 level is very likely to come. So keep that in mind, guys. For those of you guys who are watching this right now, for the 20 people that are, I don't know where you guys are watching on, but if you guys are looking for a low risk play, buying short dated calls on Tesla, again, don't risk more than you can afford to lose, but I think that will be beautiful. Okay, I also just did something with Amazon. Let me just alert the community quick. Hold on. All right. All right. Just alerted. So now we have this bullish 1 minute gap. Unless this closes above, I am not convinced that the move higher will continue. Again, we just closed. We fully filled an hourly fair value gap. We do have some fair value gaps below us that need to be touched into. So for example, this 15-minute gap is probably pretty likely to get touched into now. So do not be surprised, guys, if we get a sell-off here towards that 15-minute low. And yeah, so wish you guys the best, but that's probably coming now. And then from here, we could potentially get a bullish reaction, but we have to see something really clean. Okay, and there's a 50-minute low. Beautiful. Again, reaction from that bull or that bearish 1 minute fair value gap to touch into that 15-minute gap. So I hope you guys see where the analysis comes from, right? We filled an hourly fair value gap, and before going higher, if we are going to go higher, we need to rebalance fair value gaps below us. So if you're looking for shorts, this was the trade to target that 15-minute low. Again, I'm not in that. It's not the most high probability trade setup ever, but it still nonetheless is decent. Three-bar reversal, I'm in short, aiming for the 10 a.m. open. Okay. You're aiming for this little 1 minute for value gap here and this low. I think that's feasible for sure. Mitra, what color's your Ferrari? It's a new color actually. I don't know if you guys know. It's called Invisible. Crazy new color. It costs a lot of money to get the car wrapped in invisible wrap. Exactly. Mitra knows, guys. Unreleased edition. It's crazy. Has anyone ever seen it with invisible wrap? It's wild. So we're touching into a 1 minute order block here. I think this will probably drive back up to this candle's wick right here. Again, not a high probability scalp, but if you want to try it with a 1 for 1 here, you can. I'm not going to, but again, you could if you want. And almost there. Just quite there it is. So again, we now rebalance the 15. This could easily be bullish to go higher. Again, I wouldn't try and short the market today. I really wouldn't, guys. I took one short scalp because I had a high probability setup, but that's it. I wasn't, if you notice when I took this short here, I was not looking for a huge delivery. I just wanted to take my profits at the obvious level and be done. It's so much nicer if you're able to just take one high probability trade and just leave it at that. Don't touch the market afterwards. All I can do now is have fun and call the market, tell you guys where I think it's going to go. If you guys would have gotten that scalp, great. But personally, I'm not going to be taking anything else on my live accounts because I've taken everything I needed to take. We're already up on the Amazon play that we just called out. Again, guys, I would not try and short this market. I really wouldn't. If I had to guess, gun to my head here, we're going to come back up and rebalance this 1 minute. So sweep that internal high and then go higher. So again, I would probably say this high is going to be swept, and then this is going to get rebalanced. We have a volume imbalance above. Gun to my head. But again, not a high probability trade. Also, if we do end up inversing this one, if we end up inversing this 1 minute gap here, I think that this high is next. And for those of you watching who are wondering, I already took my trade of the day. So everything else that I call for the rest of the day is basically um, just for fun. But there's the internal high. There's the 1 minute fair value gap filled. Now we could easily go back up to high today. We could touch into this buy side here. And now we are very close. Okay, so we just closed back above this 1 minute inversion to the downside too. So do not be surprised if this ends up failing and we come back and sweep this high. Pretty much the only thing, so if you're still holding this short, which you never should have because we already swept this low, we balanced the 15-minute gap, you're basically praying that this candle is the fake out before driving the market lower. If this candle starts closing back above this 1 minute as well, and we start closing up here, then you're pretty much, I would say, hope is lost for you. In my view. Okay, so another close above on the 1 minute. You really want to see this candle hold if you're short, but I really doubt that it's going to hold. 3 bars out of the short. Nice, bro. Again, anything could happen here. We're in a consolidation, but as long as you're managing risk, that's important. So right now I'm focusing on this 1 minute fair value gap. If this closes above, I mean, I'd even bring it a little higher above the volume imbalance, then that would tell me that the next highs are coming again. So still no close above the 1 minute and the volume imbalance. The 1 minute did get closed above. No, it did not. But I would still, honestly, if you're looking for a 1 minute long here, this is not high probability either. We're in a consolidation phase, but we did balance a 15, so we could easily come back and sweep this high now. But I would be cautious here for longs and for shorts. Is anyone still in a trade right now that's watching this? So again, I can't even begin to explain distribution leg, consolidation leg, and then we get potentially a distribution leg later. Good, Mitra. But you have to understand, this is like, I guess ICT calls this kind of like time distortion. Everybody that tries to get continuation legs here gets destroyed because they consolidate the market. I don't know why it happens in this specific zone, but you can see we have a distribution and then the consolidation. Could we continue higher here? Yes. But everything becomes low probability once you start seeing big green candles after a distribution leg. And that's longs and shorts. You get smoke trying to short, you get smoke trying to long. It reverts back to like the mean, which is the middle of the consolidation, and everybody gets smoked. Eventually, it's going to break to one side or the other, yes, but you don't want to be a part of that move. You should rather be a part of this move, or in the initial phase of consolidation, you should be looking for reversals back to the mean, which is what the short is that I took. When we filled the hourly fair value gap, I took a quick 1-for-1, a quick trade and made a 1-for-1 on the day, trading into this 1 minute fair value gap. If you don't believe me, you can go back on the screen. I showed you the thesis behind the trade and the execution. If we go to the settings, you can see it here as well. Targeting that 1 minute gap. It was a very tight scalp. Actually a negative RR trade, but good enough for me to take. Also, guys, technically this is a 1 minute long, but I would never take this. We've already balanced the hourly fair value gap. Technically, this is your long stop loss here, and then you would target high of day, and then probably this hourly buy side. But to me, this is not a high probability trade. We're outside of a macro time. We're in a consolidation phase. I think this is all designed to smoke people. Could it work? Sure. But again, the objective of your trading is not to take every single fair value gap trade you see. The objective is to take a trade in the optimal time and in the optimal position. And right now, this is not that. So don't be surprised if this comes back, stops people out who are long. It's just not worth it. Even if it works, I'm not going to have FOMO. I'm not going to be upset. Again, I took my one trade of the day in the optimal spot, in my opinion, and that's it. I let it be. My main goal in this channel is to is really just to teach discipline. If I can teach you guys to just not click buttons when you're not supposed to, that in itself is going to save you guys so much money and is the difference for a lot of people of being profitable or not profitable. So when we fill, you can see the executions here. When we filled this hourly fair value gap, I took a 1 minute short. My stop loss was high of day, and my take profit was this 1 minute imbalance here. It was a scalp because I missed this BPR earlier in the day. But pretty much we filled this hourly fair value gap. You can see, I mean, it's pretty big. The hourly fair value gap is massive, actually. But once we filled it, I was expecting a reversal, at least back into the mean of this consolidation. So, and I saw this imbalance here on the 1 minute chart. So I took my scalp and took my profits right there. Sometimes you're not looking for huge moves, guys. You're just looking for a retracement back to the mean. Okay, so let's see if we can get a touch back down into this 1 minute gap. There it is. So again, constant reversion back down to this mean. If you draw 50% from the high to the low of the leg, this is the kind of like the mean. So if you guys see a distribution leg, draw out the 50% from a high or a low that you see form, and then watch how the market comes back and just touches it a bunch of times. This is how they stop traders out. They fake them to the upside, they revert back to the mean. This is like the definition of chop and how they kind of trick traders into going long and short. So if you just like basically take longs below the mean and you take shorts above the mean, you can make a ton of money scalping this. Again, that's what I did, but I just did it once. I don't take a bunch of them, but you can see how that ends up being profitable. If you guys want to if you want to rewind the YouTube live to see when I took this trade at 10:23, you can see what I did. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Thank you, Matre. I appreciate that. That's something that I developed after many days of getting destroyed after a distribution leg. I feel like it's usually during the middle of the current hour that it does that too. Yeah. I mean, we had a distribution within a macro time. So you'll start seeing after the macro time ends, that's when consolidations normally start. Sometimes we get continuation, but a lot of the times we'll get consolidations first and then continuation later in the day. We already had one manipulation leg, but again, I'm not interested in being part of this price action. I'm just here trying to point out to you guys what I think is going to happen. So if you rewind the tape, you'll see that when we were here, I said we are very likely to come back and touch into this wick, and then immediately we got this green candle. When we were here, I said we're very likely to come back and fill this 1 minute inversion to the downside, and we did it. This is another potential play, but again, we're outside of a macro time, we're consolidating. So is this a good 1 minute inversion? Let's see if anybody knows. I'll ask that question now. If somebody gives me the wrong answer here after this explanation, I'm going to be mad. Just kidding. Is this a good 1 minute inversion to the upside? Type 1 if you think yes, type 2 if you think no. Okay, what's up, good sir? Even if this works, is this a good 1 minute inversion to the upside? K, the OG. K is one of my first major students who actually tried and put in the dedication and the work to try and get inversion gaps. K says no. Maitra says 1. Oh, Maitra, you're trolling, bro. I know you are. Oh, three bar reversal and K both say no. Yeah. Again, guys, consolidation after a distribution leg outside of a macro time. None of these are A+. There's no liquidity sweep. There's nothing here. So even if this works, this is not an A plus 1 minute inversion long. Okay, I was on a sell at 10:51 in the 1 minute, but got out break even. 10:51. this short right here. So I don't know if you were on the live, K, when I was talking about this, but the reason I would have been out at this low is because it was the start of a 15-minute bullish fair value gap. So when we traded down into this, it was very likely we'd get some kind of a reversal back to the upside. So that's why I would have cut that trade, at least for profits here, or at least partialed. I know it's tough because you might not be trading with more than one contract, but yeah. MT, should I trade micros or minis? Definitely micros, depending on your account, guys. If you have like I have 250K and 300K accounts with Apex, those I trade with minis sometimes. But most of the time, micros. So like right now, on my Top Step accounts, Top Step X, I have just 50Ks and I'm trading with micros. OMG, you're so rich, bro. They're prop firms. It really depends on the range of the day, of what I would suggest. So, for example, if we look at, oh wait, where's my MNQ? Hold on one second. Hold on. So if we look at MNQ today, if you sell an MNQ, just one MNQ contract for this range, that's a $68 move. I mean, just look at the range of the day. So like right here, just in the morning session, like in just when market opened, give or take, we traded 130 points. That's a huge move. So you can always just like create limit orders on your trading view and see if I was to take this trade, how many dollars would that cost me? And if the move is $100, you shouldn't, on a 50K account, you should not be taking this with more than one MNQ. If you want to trade with more, like this, and you put two, then all of a sudden you can see now you're risking $200 for that specific range. If you want to take this, for example, if you wanted to take this fair value gap here, this inversion play, and you wanted to take a long here, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Hold on, let me change this to buy. Again, I'm not trading on this account here, but this is a paper account. But if you, for example, wanted to buy here and you were targeting, I don't know, 10 points or 20 points or even 40 or 50 points above this fair value gap, your stop is a $287 stop. Your take profit's 255 with one MNQ. So change it to, with two MNQ, change it to one, and you can see that you're risking less now. But basically seeing the range of the day and using limit orders on a, I don't know, whatever trading view you're looking at, that can give you a determination of what you'd be risking on the day. But Tristan says a good rule, honestly, is one micro for every $500 of drawdown. So for a 2K drawdown max, 4 micros at a time. Just depends how much you want to risk, guys. I try not to risk more than like 2 to 3% on a 50K account per trade. Ideally, it'd be less than that, but then you're not really making much money. But yeah, I think for Top Step we get, let me check. I think you get $1,700 of drawdown on a Top Step 50K funded, I believe. So yeah, if you're risking 1%, you're not really making much. 1% risk is $17. It's $1,500 on a Top Step. Let me pull up my Top Step X. I haven't traded my 50K fundeds today, but let me just pull it up so we can see this. All right, so I took one scalp on my 50K funded today. My distance is 2,000, but I think this is because my balance is 500 on this 50K. That's my assumption. But yeah, on this account, I wouldn't really risk more than like 3 to 4% maximum per day, which for $1,500, guys, that's, let's just say I risked for $15 per 1%. So I wouldn't risk more than $60 on my funded account, on this account right now, until I have this balance much higher than this. Does that make sense? On my 250K and 300K accounts, obviously I'm risking a lot more. I have a lot more drawdown. I think the 300K account is like $7,000 of drawdown or something. So you get a lot more out of that, right? If I risk 3%, that's a $210 risk. So it just depends. But yeah, guys, I mean, listen, if you guys want, let me know. Type 1 if you want me to stay on until this macro time, and type 2 if you guys are done for the day and you want to get off the screens. Because I'm not probably going to take another trade today. MT wants me to stay on for another few minutes. All right, I'll stay on if you guys want. 3-bar reversal's done for the day. Okay, so far we're 1 for 1. I need at least one more person to tell me if you want me to stay on or get off. Stay on, daddy. Oh my god. All right, I need at least 2 more likes on the YouTube page. I don't know how many. There's 22 people watching here. Some are on X, and I think there's 6 on YouTube. I need 2 more likes on YouTube to stay on. All right, there's 1. But really, guys, I'm just trying to teach you. Like, I can stay on, but the reality is nothing good is probably going to come out of this. This is all consolidation. If anything, there's more downside to come, but I'm not concerned with that. I'm not trying to be part of this right now. There is a 5-minute inversion here. Is this A+? No. I mean, we did get a liquidity sweep, and we're about to enter a macro time. So this is, if I had to take another trade of the day, I think this is decent to target the high above us, which is up here. But if you were to take this 5-minute inversion play, you'd have to move your stop to break even when this 5-minute hits, because this could be a rejection spot. Inversion to the downside. I'm not a huge fan of a downside inversion today because of this massive BPR here. And there's just so many. Like we have 2 15-minute inversions here. Like there's no way we'll know if this is going to be a downside move until way later. I hope that makes sense. Like there's too many bullish fair value gaps, order blocks. Like to me, this looks like this is either going to consolidate in this whole range for the whole day, or we're going to start getting a breakout later in the day. But downside does not look highly likely to me. We could easily come back and trade within this range. So like if you draw the 50% of this range here, I mean, we could easily tap into this area, sure. But I don't know. Not high probability enough for me. Three bar. I'd take one more trade if we tap into the 1 hour BISI and reverse to the upside. We are in the one. What, tap into this BISI right here? Potentially, but told you guys this is all consolidation. Wouldn't be surprised if we come back into this area again. So like this wick right here, I would not be surprised if we tap into this again. Not a trade setup, but probably gonna happen. What if we tap into a bussy? What's a bussy? I'm laughing because I already know it's something stupid. How long did you become more confident in executing a trade? How long did you become more confident in executing a trade? Years. Years, MT. This is the thing that a lot of people get confused with. They think that they're going to join a community or some kind of a program that's going to give them trades. The reality is you will never become confident in executing on the screen unless you have years and years and years of experience. I did not become profitable for like 2.5 years almost. I've been trading for almost 6 years now, give or take. I've been investing for like 10, almost 12. But maybe just try drinking before you trade. Bruh. But yeah, it took me about 2.5 years to become profitable. And even then, you still need to develop confidence in your model. Lots of back testing, lots of trial and error, lots of failure. Until you get that and you can read the market like this, you're not going to get confident. And also, until the point where you're able to tell yourself and actually stick to your plan, like we already had our distribution leg, I'm going to take my one trade and be done. Until you can actually stop your brain from executing when you're not supposed to, like until you can actually control your discipline, even if you're confident, you're still not going to be profitable. So you need a combination of discipline, screen time, and then the confidence comes with more and more wins. Yeah. So that is um, the advice I can give you, I guess. But yeah, MT. It's unfortunately, and a lot of people just don't even realize this. They get into the markets. It's so easy to create an account on some broker and start trading, whether it be stocks or futures. But what they don't realize is that you need years and years and years of trial and error. Do not expect to be profitable for 2, 3 years. Like literally don't expect it. It's crazy. And people sell you a dream. They say like, oh, all you need is to follow this stupid model and you're going to be profitable. No, it doesn't work that way. The percent of people who end up being profitable after 6 months to a year is maybe 0.5% of anyone who ever tries. You have to have like a very specific type of brain to be profitable that short. Most people are wired, 99% of the population is wired to lose at trading. It's just how our brains work. The markets are designed that way to try and generate as much liquidity, take as many people out as possible. So, yeah. Again, I don't want to sell you a dream. I was sold a dream when I first started trading. I thought that I could go into the markets and be profitable almost right away. Wow, was I wrong. Yeah, when you start risking real money, it's completely different, guys. Completely different. So, what I would suggest if you are a new trader, okay, because I'm going to tell you guys right now, I lost like 15 grand plus of my money when I first started trading, trying to become a day trader. Do not use your own cash. Start with prop firms. The one that I use is TopStep X right now, but I have a bunch of them. I have Apex, My Funded Futures, and then I have my cash accounts. I would not touch a cash account until you can prove to yourself that you're profitable with a prop firm. Wait for a sale. For example, Apex has like, I think they're like 80 and 90% off sales. Sometimes it'll cost you $19 for the month for an account, and then after the first month it like goes up to 30. But risking 19 or $30 for the month with one account and proving to yourself that you can make money with it is so much better. And then you can actually take payouts. I think they take you get 100% of your profits for the first 20 or 25,000 you make, and then from there they take 10%. But risking 19 to $30 a month instead of hundreds to potentially thousands of your own money, especially if you're trying to make this a job and you're unemployed, it's the psychology is going to destroy you. If you're unemployed and you're looking to make money with trading, you're going to get wrecked. I promise you right now. But yeah, to be able to get to the point where you are disciplined enough to not use your monkey brain, like what I do is sit on the screen for hours and take one execution and do nothing else, win or loss. That took me years and years to develop. Years. Because most people are wired for degeneracy. If you took a trade here and you lost, immediately your brain's going to be like, I want this money back. I want this money back. And you're going to start clicking buttons without a plan, without a model, and you're going to get destroyed. So my number one goal with this channel is to teach, first of all, when you should be executing, which is in a macro time before a distribution leg. Number two, it's discipline. If you take a trade and you lose, be done. If you take a trade and you win, if it's a sizable trade and you made a lot of money, maybe you can take another trade if it's very small size, like a quarter, risking a quarter or a half, not even a half, maybe even a quarter of your total losses or your total wins for the day, sorry. But really you should be taking one trade a day, if that. And the longer I trade for, the longer I look at the screens, the less I execute because I know that most of the time a trade is suboptimal. But looking at the screen and knowing what the market's going to do, or having a good idea of what the market is probably going to do, takes years and years. So, but another thing I would suggest, learn how to sell options. I have a free YouTube course on selling options. It's very basic, but if you want more details on it, we can do like a one-on-one mentorship, up to you guys. Selling options and swing trading is much better than day trading for most people. I've been very transparent on this channel. 20% of my income from the markets comes from day trading. The majority of it comes from option selling and swing trading, dividends. That's it. I have a screen grab of a trade I took last week, shorted right at market open because of the setup, held it all night and day and got like 5 points. Yeah, you see that to me, Tristan, again, it just depends on what account you're using. There's some like I can't tell you that your trade was bad because you could be trading on some 50K account you don't care about. But to take a trade at market open and hold it all day especially if it's reversing heavily against you. For most people, that's not smart. And even if you're trading with an account you don't care about, probably not smart either. But really, risk management is really important. And being able to cut a trade when you're in a loss, I know it's hard for a lot of people, but that is what you need as well. You need to be able to cut a loss. Okay, so I'm going to stay on, guys, until this macro time. We'll see if anything happens here. We're still trading into these bullish gaps after this. This is technically a breaker. Low, high, lower, low. Bullish, pretty bullish setup. So I think, if anything, this market will probably drive higher here. We have equal highs above us that formed, what day did this form? On the 17th. But yeah, we're also in that third standard deviation of the Asia range that formed last night at Sunday open, basically. And so very likely this is a reversal spot before going higher, but we do have a 4 standard deviation here that we could potentially tap into, and then these equal highs. So I will potentially look for a setup, but I'll probably be done for the day, realistically. I took my scalp. Everything here is suboptimal because we're consolidating. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Does anyone have any stocks they want me to analyze? Any questions you have? Let me know. Qatar just closed its airspace. All right. Okay, how much time? So the macro time starts in a minute. Really, if I were you guys, I probably wouldn't look for anything. Honestly, I wouldn't look for anything for the rest of the day. We've already had our distribution. We're in. I don't even think we're in discount of the range. No, we're not. We're not even. We're in premium of this range. We do have this breaker block here, so potentially can be used as a bullish leg to go higher, but not a huge fan. The only thing I would even consider, guys, if you're going to take something, if this 5-minute closes above, you can take this trade long, stop to break even when this 5-minute hits, because if this 5-minute hits and we reject, you're going to get destroyed. So if we get a close above on the 5-minute, you could try that, stop to break even at this internal high, or take a partial and then hold the rest up to this buy side above us. But I think the move will probably be subdued for the rest of the day, again, because we filled this hourly fair value gap. No A plus inversion here. Nothing is good, guys. I'm telling you right now. I still have my focus drawn on this little wick here on the 5-minute. On the 5-minute, it's the top of the fair value gap. On the 1-minute, it's just a little wick. It's possible that we come up and sweep this high and trade up into there and then get a rejection. I don't know. We also tapped into this hourly fair value gaps low, and we got a pretty bullish reaction from it. But again, nothing here is A+. There's no clean fair value gaps, even though it's a macro time. You need to see the structure of the candles look good, and you need the right time. Am I accumulating crypto? I've already accumulated crypto, guys. For those of you guys who are new to the channel, you'll probably know. Oh, hold on. I don't want to reveal that. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up. Where is it? All right. The last time I accumulated crypto, by the way, we're pumping up to that internal high in that wick most likely here. The last time I accumulated crypto was July 4th of 2024 when Bitcoin was trading below 54,000. I added again at 51. You can see here I said we are studying the charts even on the 4th while watching the fireworks. I just started my first DCA of the year. This is the only place that I added Bitcoin. And then there were a few other things that I added. But if you're looking at crypto, honestly, you should look for a major sell side liquidity to get swept like we did here at 54. And yeah, so that was that was the last time I added Bitcoin. I don't hold anything else. At one point I held Ethereum, but I sold it for a very small profit. And yeah, that's the only crypto I've ever touched. All of you guys who are looking to get rich with meme coins, I feel bad for you. You're probably going to get destroyed. Do not gamble. But yeah, okay guys, I think I'm going to call it a day here. If I see anything A+, I'll call it in the live alert section in the community. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the Discord. Peace.